You know that moment. Your child is on a tablet. The house is finally quiet. And just for a second, you can breathe. Relief settles in, and maybe a little guilt too. You love them deeply, but you're exhausted. Somewhere in the back of your mind, you wonder if these peaceful minutes come with a cost. I see you. And what many parents don't realize is that even in those quiet moments, a child's brain is learning how the world works and what kind of attention their mind will begin to expect. Hey friends, I'm the Nurture Navigator, a child development professional and behavior specialist, and this is Little Feet, Big Guidance. Over the years, I've spent a lot of time in homes with families, sitting at kitchen tables, watching how everyday life unfolds with young children. And something you begin to notice when you work closely with children over time is that the small moments matter far more than we tend to realize. The way we move through a day, the pace of our homes, the kind of experiences children repeat again and again, all of these things quietly shape attention, emotional regulation, behavior, and even the way children relate to God and to other people. What I share here comes from those years of working alongside families and also from the wisdom of people who have studied childhood deeply. Voices like Dr. Bruce Perry, Marshall Rosenberg, Dr. Gabor Mate, and Ellen G. White. Each of them help us understand something important about how children grow and how the environments around them shape who they become. I'm really glad you're here. Are you ready? Let's go. When I walk into homes today, one pattern usually stands out almost immediately. Screens are simply part of the environment now. Tablets on the coffee table, phones in small hands, a television quietly running in the background, and parents scrolling while juggling a dozen other responsibilities. And honestly, that makes sense, doesn't it? Technology has become part of daily life for all of us. Sometimes a screen even feels like a small moment of relief. A child is occupied for a few minutes, dinner gets started, an email gets answered, and the house grows a little quieter. If you've experienced that, you're not alone. Parenting today is demanding in ways previous generations never had to navigate. But something important is happening during those moments, and it's happening inside the developing brain. A child's brain is constantly building pathways based on what it experiences most often. You can imagine those pathways like roads forming across a landscape. The roads that are traveled again and again become wide, fast highways. The ones that are used less frequently stay narrow and quiet. Childhood is when many of those roads are first being built. And the early years of childhood are not mainly about keeping children entertained or even about early academics. They are about building the foundations for attention, emotional regulation, relationships, curiosity, and patience. Every ordinary experience contributes to that process. When a child listens to a story, the brain practices sustained attention. When they build something with their hands and it falls apart, they practice patience and problem solving and even frustration tolerance. When they sit beside a parent during a quiet conversation or prayer, they practice something we rarely talk about but deeply need: presence. Presence is the ability to stay with a moment long enough to absorb it. And that ability matters more than we think. Dr. Bruce Perry, who has spent decades studying how children's brains develop, often explains learning in a simple sequence. He says children first need to regulate, then relate, and only after that can they reason. You've heard this before if you've been listening for a while. In other words, before a child can really learn or focus, their nervous system has to feel calm. Once the body settles, connection with the people around them becomes possible. And from that place of connection, deeper thinking and learning begin to grow. So, calm, relational moments in childhood are not small things. They are actually the conditions that allow a child's brain to develop well. Marshall Rosenberg offers another helpful way to understand children. He often reminded parents that behavior is communication. When a child becomes restless, frustrated, or unable to focus, the behavior is often telling us something about what their nervous system is experiencing. Sometimes it's a signal of overwhelm. Sometimes it's a need for connection. And sometimes it simply means their brain has taken in more stimulation than it knows how to process. Dr. Gabor Mate speaks often about how incredibly adaptive children are. They learn to function within the environments they grow up in. If life around them is rushed and constantly stimulating, their nervous systems begin to mirror that pace. If life includes calm conversations, focused play, and time outdoors, their minds adapt to that rhythm instead. Children don't grow in isolation. They grow in response to the world around them. And that means the environments we create matter deeply. More than a century ago, Ellen G. White wrote that the habits and influences surrounding early childhood shape the direction of a person's life. The experiences children repeat become the patterns their minds expect. Childhood quietly forms the rhythms that often carry into adulthood. And when we begin looking closely at how attention develops in childhood, one influence in modern life becomes impossible to ignore: digital stimulation. This is not about blaming parents, because we are all navigating something completely new. Previous generations never had to raise children in a world where endless entertainment could appear instantly in the palm of a hand. But we are learning more about how these environments shape attention, aren't we? Many of the apps and platforms children interact with are intentionally designed to keep attention for as long as possible. So they use bright colors, rapid movement, immediate rewards, endless suggestions for the next video or game. the experience rarely pauses. And for a developing brain, that pattern becomes a powerful teacher. The mind begins to expect stimulation to arrive quickly and constantly. And when that expectation forms early, ordinary life can begin to feel slow, too slow. Waiting becomes frustrating, quiet moments feel uncomfortable, activities like listening to a story, exploring outside, or sitting quietly beside a parent require a very different kind of attention. A slower kind, a deeper kind. And this is where the conversation becomes more than developmental. It becomes spiritual. The life of faith has always required patience, stillness, and attention. When you read scripture, encounters with God rarely happen in environments full of noise. They happen in quiet places, in deserts, in gardens, on mountains, in moments when people slow down enough to notice and listen. Children are naturally capable of this kind of attention when their environment allows it to grow. But when childhood is constantly hurried or filled with stimulation, stillness can begin to feel uncomfortable. And when we hurry children, when every moment is rushed or filled with stimulation, we are not only shaping their brains, we are shaping their ability to connect with Jesus. Spiritual connection requires presence. It requires the ability to pause, to notice, to listen, to wonder. If children are never, ever given the experiences that build these capacities, coming to Jesus can feel confusing or distant. Not because they lack faith, but because they have rarely practiced the kind of attention that faith requires. Stillness is the soil where spiritual connection grows, and children need experiences that cultivate that soil. There is another part of this conversation that requires a little honesty, and I include myself in this as well. Children are not the only ones shaped by screens. Adults are too. Many of us reach for our phones in quiet moments without even noticing. Waiting in line, sitting on the couch, pausing between tasks, or even during conversations. These devices are designed to capture attention, so the pull is very real. But children are always observing the adults around them. That means you. Long before they understand instructions or rules, they are studying patterns. They're watching where our attention goes, how we respond to boredom, how we fill quiet moments, and how present we are when we are with them. In many ways, children learn what attention looks like by watching the people who love them most. If a child grows up in an environment where adults are often divided between the person in front of them and the device in their hands, the child begins to understand that this is simply how life works. Attention becomes fragmented. Conversations become shorter. Moments of boredom are quickly replaced with stimulation. And gradually, the ability to remain present in slower experiences becomes less familiar. Dr. Gabor Mate often reminds parents that children don't simply listen to what we say, they absorb the emotional and behavioral patterns that surround them. Their nervous system begins to mirror the rhythms of the home. So, when adults begin reclaiming their own attention, something powerful happens. The atmosphere of the home begins to change. Conversations stretch a little longer. Eye contact becomes more natural, not uncomfortable. Shared moments feel more grounded. Children sense that shift, and often they begin to follow it. This is why the most meaningful changes in a home rarely begin with strict rules for children. They begin with small adjustments in the way adults relate to attention, presence, and technology themselves. When a parent sets their phone aside during dinner, during conversation, or during a quiet moment together, they are teaching something profound without saying a word. They are teaching that people matter more than screens. They are teaching that attention is something we give to one another. And they are teaching children what presence feels like. Now, here is the encouraging part of this conversation. Children's brains are incredibly adaptable. What the brain has learned, it can also relearn. If a child has become accustomed to constant stimulation, the beginning of change may feel a little uncomfortable. You might notice restlessness, complaints, a child asking repeatedly for the tablet or television. That reaction is actually very normal. The brain is adjusting to a different rhythm. Think of it a little like moving from a busy highway onto a quiet walking trail. At first, the silence feels unusual. The mind keeps expecting the fast pace it has grown used to. But when families stay consistent, something beautiful begins to happen. Children start rediscovering slower forms of play. They begin inventing games again. Their imagination becomes more active. Their attention slowly stretches longer. You may start noticing moments where your child becomes deeply absorbed in something simple. Building with blocks, drawing, exploring outside, listening to a story a little longer than before. These are small signs that the brain is recalibrating. The mind is remembering that life does not have to move quickly to be interesting. In fact, some of the richest childhood experiences happen in slower spaces where curiosity, creativity, and connection have room to grow. And we made it to the challenge of the week, parents. So this week, I want to invite you into a very simple practice. Choose one moment each day to make intentionally screen-free. It doesn't have to be long or complicated. What matters most is that it is consistent and that your attention is truly present during that time. It might be sitting together at the table for a meal without devices. It might be a short walk outside after dinner. It might be reading a story before bed or building something together on the floor. Challenge yourself and do something you don't already do. During that time, try to slow the pace just a little. Follow your child's curiosity. Ask questions. Laugh together. Notice what they notice. You might find that the first few days feel a little awkward. Your child might ask for the device. They might seem unsure what to do. That's okay. What you are doing in those moments is giving their brain practice in something it needs deeply. Sustained attention, relational connection, and the experience of being fully present with another person. These moments may seem small in the day-to-day rhythm of family life, but over time, they become the experiences that strengthen patience, emotional regulation, and the capacity to engage deeply with the world around them. And as those capacities grow, so does a child's ability to slow down enough to notice God's presence in their life. Screens are a part of modern life, and they are not disappearing anytime soon. But childhood is short, and the early years are when the foundation of attention, emotional life, and spiritual awareness are being built. The experiences children repeat most, often during these years, quietly shape the way they learn, the way they relate to others, and even the way they approach their relationship with God. If today's episode stirred something in your heart and you're beginning to wonder how to shift the rhythm of your home, you don't have to figure that out alone. I'm offering a free 15-minute session where we can talk about your child, your family's current patterns, and create a simple plan to begin gently reducing screen reliance while strengthening attention, emotional regulation, and connection in your home. You can find the link to schedule that conversation in the comments. Because childhood was never meant to be something children only watch. It was meant to be something they live, explore, and experience fully. And the beautiful thing is that every day gives us another opportunity to shape those experiences with intention. I'll see you next time.